Well, hello there. It's Tracy Matthews here. We're about to get started, and I'm very excited today to bring you how to create an unforgettable jewelry brand in just 8 weeks. I am thrilled to show you the fast and simple blueprint to attract the right clients, double your sales, and work less this year. So before we get started, real quick, I'd love to know where a bunch of you are calling in from. Before I started recording this, I asked, and a bunch of you told us where you're coming from. So I'm just going to give a few of you shout outs. And if for those of you who don't know me and don't know my voice, I am Tracy Matthews, the Chief Visionary Officer and the co-founder over here at Flourish and Thrive Academy. I'm going to be joined shortly by my co-founder, Robin Kramer. She's the woman in that lovely little floral dress. I'm the one wearing the white shirt here. So awesome. I'm really excited to get started. I want to make sure that you can see my slides. So if any of you can't see my slides, just enter something into the slide chat and let's get started. And I want to welcome you, give you a big, huge welcome to all of you joining here. We got Melanie from Boho Chic Bijou in Coral Springs, Florida. We have Sharon from Illuminated Me in Portland, Oregon. I have Ren from Tokyo. I have Kat's Creations here in Ohio, or from Ohio. I'm here in New York City. We have Koa from Canterbury, England, Carolyn from London, Toby from Chicago, Victoria calling in from Dusseldorf, Germany. Awesome. I've been to Dusseldorf, actually. Robin from Deer Island, Maine, and so many more of you. Pilar from Mexico City. We have Laura from Toronto, and so many more. Sonia from Montreal. All right, awesome. Thanks, you guys. Thanks so much for joining today. We have so many more people here. Keep telling us where you're coming from. Someone on my team is going to be like checking those out, which is awesome. We are really excited to be here today to welcome you all to the How to Create an Unforgettable Jewelry Brand in just 8 weeks. I wanted to start by just telling you a little bit about who I am. I'm Tracy Matthews, the co-founder of Flourish and Thrive Academy. Been in the jewelry industry for over 20 years. Robin's going to be joining me shortly, my co-founder. She has been in the jewelry industry for a long time. Her background is in retail branding at the corporate level, and then she's worked in sales for niche brands and helped a lot of small companies get off the ground. So as I mentioned, we're here to talk about how to create an unforgettable jewelry brand in just 8 weeks. And I want to dive right in, shall we? Before we get started, I want to make sure that you remove all distractions. So if you have your cell phone next to you or your email on or anything else, you can lock your kids in the closet. I'm just kidding, of course. Throw your cell phone out the door, whatever you want, but we want to make sure that we have your undivided attention. So make sure that you remove any distractions that you might have. We're going to keep this training jam-packed with a lot of great information. And don't worry, you'll be in the outside world soon. We're going to keep this to about an hour. So get excited. I'm going to be spending about an hour at the end answering questions. I've been known to go over a little bit with the question thing. So if you have questions, you can start queuing them up at any time, and we'll do our best to answer all of them at the end. Make sure that you grabbed our Unforgettable Jewelry Brand blueprint that was delivered to you via email. You can also probably grab it below. Make sure that you grab that because it's going to be an important part of the training today. If you can't find it, no big deal at all. You can just grab a notepad and paper and take some notes here. And then I want to make sure that you stay till the end because we're giving you a special surprise bonus that we're going to deliver right at the end. It's called the Desired Sharing Proposition Roadmap. And the point of this thing, it's a visual representation of everything that you are going to learn today. It's awesome. Trust me, you're going to want to grab this and frame it probably. It's beautiful. Anyway, let's dive right in. How to create an unforgettable jewelry brand in just 8 weeks. The fast and simple blueprint to attract the right clients, double your sales, and work less this year. So before I wanted to dive in, I wanted to take a moment to reflect why you might have shown up to this masterclass today. And since you're here, I'm guessing that you might be looking for some guidance and extra help in growing your jewelry business, or perhaps some sort of additional support. That can come in a lot of different ways. And maybe you're trying to just increase your sales or get more exposure for your brand. We've heard it all. But chances are that your struggles might go a little bit deeper than that. So let's run through a couple of reasons why you might be here today. It might be that you're scraping by an unfulfilling day job, building someone else's dream, right? Or maybe getting a lot of compliments on your jewelry, but you just don't know how to convert those compliments or turn them into sales. Hear that all the time. Maybe you're frustrated about all the time you spend marketing because you aren't getting enough sales or exposure to sustain your business. Or maybe you're overwhelmed with everything you have to do to actually grow a jewelry business, and sometimes you wonder if it's really even worth it. Or maybe you're just getting trickles of traffic to your website or Etsy shop or however you're trying to sell, and if you feel like it's maybe a little bit hard to stand out because there are a lot of other independent designers out there, and there's a lot of choices, right? Yeah, I totally get it. But imagine if things had changed. And I know because I've been there. What if your business totally took off and you could finally quit your day job to follow your passion? Or what if you could easily turn those compliments into sales and customers into your biggest sales reps and media channels? Or what if you could effortlessly attract and leverage the right types of exposure and sales to keep those sales rolling in nonstop? What if you could drastically increase your brand's profits by discovering how to set your business up the right way? I'm going to put the word finally there. Or maybe you've completely discovered your brand voice and consistent sales start to roll in on your website or your Etsy shop, at trunk shows, however you're trying to sell. Wouldn't that be awesome? I think it would be. In fact, it is awesome. Trust me. I know we've been here, and if any of this resonates with you, just know that you are in the right place. Robin and I have both built our dream businesses and our dream lives, built following our passions, and we want to show you how we've helped thousands of other jewelry designers and makers build successful businesses selling their jewelry. This is our mission over here at Flourish and Thrive Academy, to help you build your dream life by following your passion. By the way, I just wanted to remind you, stay till the end because we're going to be sharing this awesome desired sharing proposition roadmap. It's just a visualization of everything that you're going to learn today. And just a reminder, Robin's going to be here with us shortly. And before we got started, Robin and I like to start with a little bit of a meditation or something to kind of connect. And before we started this masterclass today, we really thought deep about what we wanted to bring to the table. And our intention was to really show up as our best selves and to support you and mentor you. So my dream and my biggest sense of satisfaction in life is really to see designers flourish and thrive and to see designers really up-leveling their business to the next level. So I wanted to ask you before you get started, if you had an intention that you'd like to set before the class. If you do, you could just write it down on a little notepad, keep it close by because these intention setting practices are really powerful. So today we're going to show you the fast and simple blueprint to attract the right clients, double your sales, and work less this year. We'll show you strategies for amplifying your brand's desirability, which will make attracting consistent sales super duper easy. Give me a heck yes if you want more sales just by sharing your work. I know that a lot of you probably do. Or getting your clients to share your work, hint, hint. Basically, we want to help you make your brand unforgettable by standing out in the sea of independent designers and makers. And we're going to dive into this masterclass in just a moment, but I wanted to tell you a little bit more about who we are and why the heck we love helping jewelry designers and makers so much, just like you. All right, Robin's going to be with us shortly, but while she's joining us on the call, I wanted to tell you a little bit more about her and tell you a little bit more about why we're qualified to teach you any of this. Anyway, you might be wondering that. So I love introducing Robin because she is just really a bright light in this world. She really loves helping people. We met at a trade show back in 2006. I'm going to share a little bit more about that later. But even before I really knew her, she was giving me feedback on how to merchandise my products better and tighten up my branding. Robin's worked for tons of renowned brands, which you can see here on this slide. She started out with Gap and Williams-Sonoma, to just name a few. But her real claim to fame came in the wholesale world when she was hired as the director of sales for Dog-Eared Jewels and Gifts. Robin really is the master at relationships. And at Dog-Eared, she developed many relationships that were significant to the company's growth from scratch, including Neiman Marcus Direct, Bloomingdale's, Nordstrom, Cusp, Calypso, South Moon Under, and Von Maur, all amazing, great brands. During Robin's 5-year stint as the director of sales of Dog-Eared, their business grew by 800%, guys. I saw this blow up, and they had been around for about 14 years by that point. It's pretty impressive to see a company that had been around for a while just sort of explode. And Robin really loves more traditional methods of reaching clients, and she's really a master relationship builder. Robin's amazing, which you're going to find out really soon. And I'm excited that she's our co-founder over here at Flourish and Thrive. And I'm just saying, I want to make sure that we can keep this tight and right. I talk fast, but hopefully, hopefully that's cool. I want to tell you a little bit more about myself. I'll try to slow down a little bit. I started my first business back in the 90s. I've been around for a long time. I started making jewelry in the early 90s, but started my business full-time in 1998. Back then, my focus was really selling to stores because that's how you got your name out there. The internet wasn't around then. There wasn't even email when I started my business, guys, or I didn't even have it. I got my first email address, I think, around 1998. I had always had big dreams of getting my products into stores, and I did it. And I really wanted it to be an international, sort of renowned brand. And over the course of 11 years, my designs were sold in over 350 stores around the world. Some of my key accounts included Twist, the Sundance Catalog, ABC Home, Fred Siegel, the Clay Pot, American Rag, Bloomingdale's, and Anthropologie, all great brands, and I'm so proud of what I've done, or what I did back then. My work was also featured in a lot of very popular magazines, including In Style, Real Simple, Lucky, Elle, Mademoiselle, Glamour, Marie Claire, you name it. I was in tons of magazines, and I had lots of celebs wearing my work. In fact, Halle Berry, I was just commissioned to design another piece for Halle Berry, but she used to buy my pieces over at ABC Home. Kate Hudson, Orlando Bloom, and Michelle Williams are all fans. And I've had my work featured in tons of TV shows and on the red carpet. In fact, a lot of American Idols were wearing my jewelry back in the day when American Idol was a big thing. And I'd like to say that my jewelry was sort of the lucky charm for a couple of the guys winning the show. But, fast forward a couple years, 2008 happened, and all that hustling and sort of slapping together and winging it that I did to build a business back then just started to come to a halt. And unfortunately, when the economy crashed, I had to close my first business down in 2009. It became really evident that my lack of knowledge in the early days, in the early 90s, about how to set up and run a business properly, especially being the creative that I am, had a huge impact years later. Even though I was implementing things as I went, that lack of setting my business up the right way really had a huge impact later that forced me to sort of have to close my business later on. So I took some time after I shut my business down to really evaluate what I was doing and what I wanted to do. In fact, I started teaching yoga more full time. I'm a former yoga teacher, and I thought maybe I'd go like into the yoga world, be a famous yoga teacher. But I couldn't get away from this passion that I had for jewelry design. And it was way too strong, and I kept getting called back to it. So I knew that I was meant to be a designer. And after I did some soul searching, I decided to start over. And this was after, being in the industry for over 15 years, doing that soul searching, getting back into it. This time it was completely different though. I aligned my business with what I really valued the most. I set my business up the right way this time, and I ended up building a highly profitable brand in a very short period of time. And within 18 months, I had booked my first month of $30,000 worth of profits. And to this day, I'm still able to run my business solely on cash flow. And I often have a waiting list of clients, which is really amazing because I'm so busy. Robin and I became fast friends after we had met at that trade show back in 2006 at the E&K Accessory Circuit when Robin was the director of sales for Dog-Eared. And I was representing my own brand. Robin was representing Dog-Eared. In 2012, sort of after I got my new brand off the ground, I'd approached Robin about an idea that I had to combine my personal experience and her sales expertise to start Flourish and Thrive Academy. And the rest is kind of history, which is why we're here today to bring you how to create an unforgettable jewelry brand. And this is really a cause that's near and dear to my heart because I totally made every mistake in the book. And I'm going to tell you a little bit more about that right now, because the truth is that a lot of designers and makers often know everything. They learn everything they need to know about making a piece of jewelry, but they lack that business sense and gloss over some of the most important things, parts of the businessy stuff, like marketing and selling their designs and learning how to keep their brand and their work on the top of mind of their clients. This is a huge mistake. And this is the exact reason why I was forced to close my first business. I love pushing myself as a maker and designer, but since I wasn't very interested in the business side of stuff when I first started, I oftentimes ignored it. In fact, I remember people saying to me, you should put systems in your business. And I was like, tell me what systems to do. And They're like, trust me, it's not going to work. I didn't listen. I ignored it, pushed it off to the side, and it ended up being a huge catastrophe later on. So eventually I did get some help. I hired really expensive consultants to consult for my business. But at that point, it was really too late. The damage was already done. And I didn't realize it until my entire business failed. And I was forced to declare bankruptcy, which totally sucked. It was a really tough time in my life, but I did some soul searching and decided to start over. But this time I invested in myself as an entrepreneur and as a business owner instead, as much as I did as a designer and my creative talents. I engaged in the support of some really powerful mentors like Marie Forleo and Erica Learmark, and I learned how to reach dream clients online. Plus, I joined a community of like-minded entrepreneurs that offered support and guidance, and this was amazing. And my mentors and friends in the community helped me realize that building desire and demand is one of the most important parts of running a jewelry business. So when I began focusing on specific strategies that amplified my brand's desirability, everything changed. I mean, everything. And guys, I am a huge believer in practicing what I preach. And, I'm always finding new mentors and coaches, and as well as surrounding myself with the ones that have always supported me for a long time. In fact, I have my own, like my friends become my mentors, like Clint. I have my mentor Ryan is super pivotal and amazing in my life. And, I want to show you this process of evolution, how things changed for me, so that you can do the same for your business. So the purpose of this masterclass and the reason why we put this whole thing together is so that we can share our knowledge and expertise, just like the mentors I had did for me. And this exciting thing is that everyone on this training right now has the opportunity to skip that learning curve and get to the next level in business, sort of like skip past all that stuff that took me so many years to figure out on my own. So my biggest dream for you is that you are able to build that unforgettable jewelry brand of your dreams. And with that being said, I would love to dive in, shall we? All right, so let's talk about what you're going to discover today. So here's exactly what you'll discover in this masterclass. The huge branding mistake that you have already made, that you possibly already made, and how to fix it. The 3 key elements of an unforgettable jewelry brand, and what to do now to get the right customers engaged with your brands. So basically, we boiled all the important business practices that we've picked up over the years into a single holistic business philosophy. And that is how to create an unforgettable jewelry brand to become an admired, successful designer with the right clients and exposure. Following this blueprint creates a really unique phenomenon. Your dream clients will transform, not kidding, they will transform into your biggest brand advocates and create a cycle of sharing your jewelry that makes sales so easy that you will have a waiting list just like I do. I can't wait for that. So we'd like to start off with a little exercise. Robin, are you ready for this? So grab your workbook, and if you don't have the workbook handy, just grab a piece of paper, and we want you to answer some questions here. So what qualities or traits come to mind when you think about an unforgettable, iconic jewelry brand? So you can write down maybe 5 to 10 words that you would use to describe them. Robin, do you have any words that come to mind?
I do. Comes to mind signature style, authentic, the status that it comes with having that brand, beautiful, valued, feeling valued when I have that brand. So those are some things that immediately come to mind for me.
I think of moments in time, or specific, emotion, like the emotional connection. When I think of this, I think of visual imagery, people experiencing a life event or something like that, which to me, I don't know how to describe that in words, but I'm like life events, special occasion. All right, cool. So, Robin.
Yes.
Why don't you head up?
Let's do this. And, next we'd like you to please write down at least one thing that is unique about your jewelry brand. So pop that into the question box, because I'd love to have, Abby, if you can read a couple of those, that'd be really fun. And it might be something that a customer told you about your brand, or maybe how you're positioning your brand, or might be something about your process or technique, or how you're creating a connection with your jewelry. So are there a couple that you could?
Yeah, there's lots. Shelly says inventive. Gladys says unique. Yeah. Tisha says hand blown. Chris says colorful. Dahlia says interactive. Ooh, that's
Those
a
are
good
Interactive,
one.
cool.
so great. All right, those are wonderful. Well, let's move on to the training because we're really excited to get started
Yeah,
here.
let's do this. All right, so the huge branding mistake that you may have already made and how to fix it. When I first started selling my jewelry, I thought the reason that people bought from me was just because I had great designs or technique, or that they liked the stones or the color stories that I designed with, because I designed all around colors back in the day. Of course, pre-internet days, there were a lot fewer choices. So a lot of buying decisions were really based on just the way a piece of jewelry looked, or the materials or the design, and not much more. And there's actually a term for this. It's called, you've probably heard of it, the unique selling proposition. So Robin, you want to tell us a little bit more about the unique selling proposition?
Yeah, the USP, or unique selling proposition, is an advertising term that relates to how brands differentiate their products within a market or niche. It's often related to quality, materials, pricing, things like that. It can also include proprietary techniques, materials, even your process, or, more things of that nature. But in reality, however, this is actually an insufficient marketing strategy for two reasons. First, with all the designers out there, probably more than 100 other brands can claim the exact same USP as you. Now, for instance, it seems like artisan crafted and handmade is a huge USP today. While this is a benefit to design and people, and definitely people buy this because of this, but it's not enough to set you apart anymore. Second, jewelry is an emotional purchase. As Tracy had said about, what she thinks of when she thinks of jewelry, it's that emotional tie. It's not a need-based purchase. Now, here's an example of this. Let's say you're searching the internet for a turquoise bracelet. You visit different websites, you read about the designers and their process, you learn about the story behind the work, and then you buy the bracelet from the brand that you really connect with. So on this slide here, you see a bunch of different brands. They all do turquoise bracelets. Well, keep in mind too, you're not going to, if you don't connect with any of them, you're probably not going to buy anything, right? Which is why you must focus on a desire sharing proposition, or DSP, instead of the unique selling proposition. Now, the DSP is sort of like a USP 2.0, if you will. It incorporates not just the materials and design, but it's also that emotional reason people buy. And its goal is to position your jewelry as a more desirable, it's just much more desirable than your competitors. Okay? Get that? We'll get into the details later, but I want you to think about it this way. Picture this. Why does everyone love Tiffany's? Why did you just think of a little blue box when I said Tiffany? Why did you swoon when the lights came on when Patrick Dempsey said to Reese Witherspoon, pick one, in the movie Sweet Home Alabama?
I love that movie.
And, I do too. And I visually think that too, in the scene when they're actually in Tiffany's.
Yeah.
Or why, when in Holy Go Lightly from the movie The Breakfast at Tiffany's, why only can Holly Golightly cure the red means by going to Tiffany?
The Mean Reds, Robin. Let's get it right.
Oh, the Mean Reds.
It's my favorite movie, so I have to get it right. So Holly Golightly is Audrey Hepburn's character, and she has this famous scene about the only thing that can cure the Mean Reds, it's worse than the blues, is to show up at Tiffany, and she would do that like at 6 in the morning after her night out. So I love these visual images, and it kind of works like that, because if you buy from Tiffany, suddenly you are one of those people, and it's your ticket into high society. Your promise that he really loves you. This is the emotional hook that they've created. Their brand, their messaging, and their core values all scream exclusive, high-end, and you're one lucky lady. This is exactly what makes a brand unforgettable. Instead of relying on a simple USP, they have intimate conversations directly with their dream clients through their messaging, their designs, and marketing efforts. There's a great movie about the designers behind Tiffany too. If you guys haven't had a chance to watch it, it was on the Delta flight that I was a couple months ago. It's amazing. So try to find it on Netflix. Really, really great movie. but that you can see how they're having intimate conversations behind the scenes, and they do it really well. Right, Robin?
Well, absolutely. And as you can see from the Tiffany example, you have the opportunity to take an active part in helping your clients create those memorable moments. Your brand can actually become forever entwined with your client's story, which is a story that they may be telling for the rest of their lives. How cool is this? So this is I love this picture of this newly engaged couple.
Robin, you know Kelly. This is Kelly, our photographer.
Yes, so she's adorable. And the ring just fits her to a T, but what a beautiful moment, not only captured, but she's elated by her ring. And you may be thinking, well, I don't make super expensive jewelry, so I'm not going to be part of someone's engagement or anniversary celebration. Now, that may be true, but defining moments don't look the same to everyone. Think about this. You could be part of their graduation, or maybe help them celebrate their 30th birthday, or even keep them calm and confident on a first date. That's a great one, right? Your jewelry might be something that was picked up on a vacation, and it takes them, every time they wear it, it takes them back to that certain place and time. I mean, you can even be the reason they feel bold enough to ask that for that promotion, or answer the phone when their mother-in-law calls, right? Sometimes it's just the smallest wins that make the most impact.
And this is just another reminder that what we do can be really powerful. We're not just designing jewelry. We are changing how people feel about themselves and creating moments that they will cherish forever. So picture this, that scene in the movie Pretty Woman when Julia Roberts steps into her iconic red dress, out in her iconic red dress for the first time. Do I look okay? She asks Richard Gere. Something's missing, he says. He opens a blue velvet box, revealing a stunning ruby and diamond necklace. In awe, she reaches to touch it. He playfully pops the box shut to catch her fingertips. She leaps back with a big, infectious laugh and a stunning smile. One of the most unforgettable and lovable moments in movie history, all about a necklace. So if you can communicate a combination of all these factors that make your brand and your jewelry unique and different, and create a connection with your customers, your jewelry will become much more than an accessory to an outfit. It will become part of their story, part of their history, part of how they identify themselves. So how do you do this? You might be wondering. Well, it all boils down to the 3 key elements of an unforgettable jewelry brand. So the 3 elements are really the foundation of the DSP. So Robin, shall we talk about that for a bit?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's time to start creating your desire sharing proposition. Are you ready? Now, as we mentioned before, the DSP is so much more than a USP because it also takes into account the emotional reasons people buy. And its goal is to position your jewelry as more desirable than your competitors. Now, the desire sharing proposition is going to include your brand story, your brand values, your brand voice, messaging, points of distinction, emotional selling proposition, methods of sharing your work, conversation strategy with your fans and advocates. Now, that may seem like a lot of different facets to figure out, and that's because it is a lot. So we've broken it down. It's true. We're not gonna lie on that one. So we've broken down the desire sharing proposition development process into 3 distinct sections to make it a lot easier. First, creating desire. Next, sharing desire. And finally, the desire journey.
Okay, cool. So let's start with creating desire. Creating desire, building the foundations for desire. So to create desire, you're going to have to dig deep into every little element of your brand, your jewelry, and even your potential clients. This is the entire groundwork for your desired sharing proposition. And here it is. So this is the groundwork and the foundation for it. It's your signature style. This is your design point of view or what you're known for as a designer. Your unique process. So this might be the materials you use, your concepts, your design techniques, etc. The identification of your dream clients. You hear us talk about this a lot. Those who will become your brand advocates and biggest raving fans, the ones who sort of spur the sharing economy for your business. properly developed collections, understanding the principles of cohesive design and merchandising, the right pricing for your jewelry brand, your brand asset. So this includes everything that you use to market and sell your jewelry, and your brand values and voice. And this is how you are communicating and showing up in the jewelry space and attracting your advocates, fans, etc. This is also the place to keep, there's also a place to keep track of this stuff in your blueprint. So we don't have a ton of time because we want to keep this training right out to 45 minutes to like really expand totally on each of these topics. But we want to drive the point home that this is not just about product or price. So you need to get out of that mindset. It's a holistic approach where every facet of your aesthetic comes together to encourage intense desire for your brand. We can almost guarantee that 90% of jewelry designers will never consider all of these elements together and how they work hand in hand with each other. That means that you are about to gain a huge advantage over the rest of the industry. Right, Robin?
Huge, ginormous.
Huge, huge.
Now, this is the first step to going above and beyond a simple USP. And remember, we mentioned earlier that the industry is flooded with handmade jewelry, right? Well, Melissa Joy Manning is one of the original handmade and artisan independent designers and has been for years. When she first started out in the 90s, way back when, she could use the term right? She could use the term handmade solely, and she would stand out because no one was doing what she was doing. Now, her company messaging is about so much more than just handmade. Since its inception, the Melissa Joy Manning collection has been known for its beautifully designed, impeccably crafted, and socially and environmentally responsible ethos. Marrying an elegant, modern aesthetic with recycled materials and responsibly sourced stones that are transformed into organically urbane pieces by the designer and her team of artisans and manufactured in a way that is friendly to both the earth and its inhabitants. Melissa Joy Manning is the rare brand that produces a luxury, heirloom quality collection using ethical, green certified practices. Oh my gosh, I just love it.
So good.
What this looks like, isn't it just like you can envision? Yeah, it's just so good. Now, what this looks like to your customers is a consistent feel at every point of interaction with you and your brand. Now, keep in mind, this is the hardest and most intense section of the entire process, but we promise your hard work will pay off. For instance, you can have great messaging, but if your products don't live up to the promise of that message, you really don't have a chance of creating a lasting impression on people. A lot of thought goes into unforgettable brands. It takes work to look, feel, and sound consistent. But again, this is why some designers are wildly successful while others are ignored. Isn't that right, Tracy?
That is exactly why. Absolutely. So what do you do naturally when you find something awesome? You tell everyone, right? So think about it this way. Say you picked up an amazing eye cream that was doing wonders for your skin. When your friend comments on how great your skin looks the next time you're at brunch, you immediately are going to share your new eye cream. It's just like that's what we do, especially as women. Which brings us to sharing desire. Turn your sales and marketing into intimate conversations with your dream clients. Oh no, did I just say the S word, Robin? You know how people feel about sales. Yes, I did.
You did.
We're talking about sales. So I'm pretty sure that the main reason designers get uncomfortable with sales is because they feel like they're being slimy or pushy, and the fear of rejection is a huge part of it as well. Now, what if you approach your sales strategy from a different angle by being useful, helpful, or of service to your customers? Instead of giving sales pitches, you will be having intimate conversations with your prospects and customers. You'll be serving their needs rather than trying to collect their money. Not only is that a much more fulfilling approach to selling, but it also will be the most powerful way to encourage word of mouth sharing for your brand. We call this the sharing economy, and it's the foundation of sharing desire for your brand. And I'm going to let Robin tell you a little bit more about this because she's a huge fan of this concept and has been doing it for years.
Oh, I am such a huge fan. I really am. And here's why. Sharing desire is all about being of service to potential and existing customers from the perspective of your DSP or desired sharing proposition. It's allowing the DSP to become the foundation of all of your sales, marketing, and PR efforts. Okay, so first, the sharing economy is really perfect for the jewelry industry because people love to show off their new ring or necklace and brag about it to their network of friends. I mean, just think about it. Don't you guys do that? I totally do. So Instagram, Facebook, and Pinterest are obvious ways for people to easily share how excited that they are about what they just bought from you. And they even, as in these slides here, you'll see like they're on vacation, they're just excited about showing. So take a moment to thank the heavens you don't sell medical supplies. Not as fun to share. So next, knowing and aligning with your dream client's core values does the work for you, doesn't it, Tracy?
Yeah, so let's explain what we mean here. Here's one of my favorite examples of how the sharing economy works from one of our designers, Ira Zahn of Arena Victoria Jewelry. Ira made friends with someone named Catherine Schwarzenegger. You might be familiar with her dad, the Governor, Arnold. And you're probably wondering how she did this. No, it wasn't a mutual friend, and she didn't hire a PR firm and pay a ton of money to get it on her. By researching just a little, she found out that Catherine was a huge animal advocate. So she gifted her 2 necklaces, one specifically from her wildlife charity line. Catherine loved it so much that completely unprovoked, this is the most important part, unprovoked, she mentioned it in her InStyle Ask Cat vlog series in her holiday guide. The video ended up being posted on InStyle.com. Talk about sharing desire. That's like not even asked, just doing something thoughtful based on finding that alignment, right? That one post during the holiday season brought in almost 50% of Ira's entire annual revenue that year. Even to this day, Ira built a relationship and a friendship with Catherine that is still going strong. Right, Robin?
It's so cool. So cool. And this is a really perfect example for 2 reasons. One, their core values were in alignment. Ira had a wildlife charity line, and Catherine is an animal rights advocate. Ira actually did her homework and knew that. 2, it came from a place of service. Ira felt Catherine would be touched and inspired by the jewelry from her wildlife charity line. She put thought into it and personalized the approach. Sending random jewelry would not have made an impact. In fact, I bet she gets free stuff all of the time, like a lot of celebrities do. Ira actually did something every single person watching this right now can do. And again, all it cost her was a little time and a free sample. All right, so marketing in the sharing economy means creating and sharing content with viral potential.
The truth is, you don't need 1 million views for your marketing to be effective. In fact, I get a lot of clients from Facebook because people share photos, and that leads to an organic sharing referral cycle. It's pretty cool because I'm sharing my work and then others share it. You can also share images of your inspiration, your process, your values and culture. If you have a solid foundation for your DSP, chances are very high that every image will strike a chord with your audience. And I don't know if you remember earlier, a lot of these are rings that my clients just like posted and tagged me in, like the hands. They're all clients. In the upper left corner is Kelly, who was featured before. She referred Megan, this other client of mine here. Her husband, Justin, just bought a ring for me last year. And then I met this other couple at a wine bar when they got engaged. So it's just like super fun way to do this cycle of sharing. So Robin, do you want to take this a little further?
Yeah, and I'm so glad you said that, Tracy, because the celebrity example might seem a little extravagant to everyone here, but I promise you, there are so many little things you can do to encourage the sharing economy coming from a place of service. Here's something I did to sell from a place of service. When I was at Dog-Eared, I'd worked with a lot of super busy buyers. And here's a picture of one of our booths at the project show in Las Vegas. And what I would do is I'd make it a priority to always listen to their needs, because it came down to making the process of buying easy for my customers. I wanted to make it super easy. If I noticed a buyer was lagging on getting an order to me, I would actually do a little recon and write the order for them. We'd ended up with a win-win situation, and they usually ended up buying a lot more because they weren't rushed to place the order. They could actually look through it and knew that I had looked at their sales and was always looking at their best interest and having their best interest at heart. Remember, the easier you can make it for a customer to buy, the more you can sell. Super key.
Yeah.
Because I made this process so easy for them, I ended up getting a lot of referrals from happy buyers, which, as you can guess, referrals are the foundation of sharing desire in the sharing economy. And I just want to say, too, I would get referrals from buyers of stores would refer me, but I also would get referrals from just, direct customers that would be so happy. So keep that in mind. It doesn't always have to be a buyer at a store. It's any customer will be happy to talk about your brand and their experience.
See, it's not slimy or sleazy, it's just helpful. And finally, we want to move on to our final topic for this section, the desire journey, turning your brand into an emotional experience. So the ultimate goal of your desired sharing proposition is to meet your clients where they are and get them hooked so they follow on your desire journey. This concept is a bit nebulous, so I'm going to use a music analogy to clear it up from You Got It, my girl, Adele. So you probably have a certain musician or favorite band that you absolutely love and have followed her music around for as long as you can remember. For me, that person is Adele. Each new album she releases is going to be at least a little bit different than the previous one. And maybe she's switched genres or decided to experiment with a slightly new artistic direction. But even if it's way different than the music you first fell in love with, you stayed a fan because she had you hooked on her desire journey. No matter what she tries next for you, the music will always be amazing. And I have to share, the background image is a picture from a concert that I saw in Verona, Italy last year when I was in Italy on a copywriting retreat. And I have to tell you, going to that concert made me fall in love with Adele even more. The girl is like a riot. She's so funny. And I love it because she's so charismatic on stage. But before every show, she throws up because she's so nervous. So it's not just us who get nervous about showing up for our businesses. A lot of people do. But that nervous energy, or that, as I like to say from Fritz Perl, that excitement without the breath, is one thing that helps us propel and become better at who we are. So you guys aren't alone. I just want to mention that. So Robin, how can we do the same for our brands? Why don't you tell us a little bit more about that?
Well, you're not saying that we're not saying that you can do like a whole 180 in your design aesthetic every season. But we are saying that once you establish a moment with your dream client that's deeply rooted in their desire, they will buy into your brand vision and want to be a part of it for a long time. In fact, I'm sure a lot of you have already had customers who keep coming back and they're just big, huge fans. Now, the ultimate goal of your desired sharing proposition is to bring your customers along in your desire journey, just like Tracy was saying with Adele. Then, no matter how your brand evolves, your advocates will be there supporting you wherever you go and with whatever you do. And once you become unforgettable, your business can shift without losing all your clients because they're invested in you and not just what you make. The good news is, after you've successfully created desire and shared the desire, you're probably already 80 to 90% of the way towards hooking your customers into your desire journey. Tracy has a really great example of desire journey in action, don't you, Tracy?
Yeah, so when I get inquiries for engagement rings, I spend a lot of time learning details about my client's personality and lifestyle. I interview them and see if I can get a good read on what they're looking for and how I can over deliver. I explain my process, tell them a little bit more about what to expect, and paint the picture of the journey for them. I usually end with a single statement that starts out something like, if we decide to work together, which adds an interesting psychological twist because I think that's really important. So my clients' lives become an important part of the desire journey for my brand. Think of the importance of an engagement ring. I've given them a physical representation of a moment they will remember forever. As long as I've done my job well and made my client's experience exceptional, my brand is completely intertwined with the couple's love story. They come back whenever they have a big moment that they want remembered. My business these days is at least 50% referral based. In fact, one of my clients referred 3 new engagement ring projects to me last year.
Woohoo! We love that. So those are the 3 key elements of an unforgettable jewelry brand: creating desire, sharing desire, and the desire journey. Now it's time to turn all this theory and strategy into action and results, right?
Let's do it.
So what to do now to get people talking about your unforgettable brand? We want you to walk away from this masterclass with something actionable that you can do right now to start building your unforgettable brand. Basically, we want you to start creating marketing and sales content for your brand that takes your prospects, dream clients, and brand advocates on your desired journey. Melissa Camilleri of Compliment, and one of our students and community leaders to Flourish and Thrive Academy, has done this very well on Instagram. Her dream clients are teachers from all over the world. Melissa is a former teacher herself, and she has done a lot to create a strong DSP by using her mantra, "We rise by lifting others," which is also a hashtag and is now trademarked by her. A busy teacher who's devoted to supporting educational causes needed a simple gift. She was searching the hashtag Teachers Follow Teachers on Instagram when she stumbled upon one of Melissa's adorable packaged necklaces. When she followed the post to Melissa's Instagram feed, it was almost like she could not buy. Everything about the Compliment brand resonated with her values and passions. Plus, Melissa donates a portion of her proceeds to fund a scholarship to send underprivileged high school girls to college. It was a perfect fit. Now, the teacher immediately bought the necklace, then told all of her teacher friends about what Melissa at Compliment was doing. One hashtag led to many sales and a stream of brand advocates sharing everything that Melissa designs.
So our challenge for you at the end of this is to create 3 pieces of micro content that you can use to start weaving together your desire journey. We're going to give you some examples in a moment. You'll want to think about all the things that we spoke about in the Creating Desire section, especially the identification of your dream clients, your branded visual assets, and your brand story founded in your DSP. Then I want you to set some simple or mini goals to measure your progress. So set a goal, like if you post something, maybe your goal is to get, X amount of engagement on the post, or maybe it's to inspire X amount of sharing. Whatever the goal can be, start small though. I don't want you guys to feel defeated. Like think of something that you think you can achieve. Commit to 2 or 3 pieces. I highly recommend 3, but if 3 is overwhelming, pick 2 and start talking to your dream clients and brand advocates on a desire journey. So here are some actions that you can take right away to do this. Let's slide that up. You can share a behind the scenes photo on your Instagram account only and then cross promote it from other platforms. You can use 3 to 4 new hashtags from Instagram from entrepreneurs or designers you admire. So think about what Melissa did. She found a hashtag that her dream clients were following. And your dream clients are probably not following jewelry. It's probably something else. Like Melissa's was teachers follow teacher. Share a photograph of your first piece of jewelry and the inspiration behind it. Share a now and then comparison of your brand evolution. This one is really fun because it gets people really excited. I had a couple clients last year sharing like they were going through their jewelry box and they found some of the first pieces that they bought from me. So different now. It's funny, one client shared something. She's like, "Oh my God, I love this bracelet." I'm looking at it. I'm like, "Oh gosh, you were having design ADD when you created that because it's totally not in alignment with your signature style." But it's fun to kind of watch that evolution. Write a why I design manifesto and share it on Instagram or Facebook. Describe a day in the life of your dream client. This is a great way to attract people that are like that sort of dream client avatar. Describe the type of people that you love to work with and a photo of someone wearing your jewelry. Maybe it's even like a client case study or testimonial. You could describe that person, show a picture of them wearing it, give them a shout out. Shoot a Facebook Live, sharing your designer story on your Facebook business page. You guys know how much I love Facebook Live. I'm obsessed with it. Share the story of your first sale of jewelry and why it was exciting for you. Write a mini artist statement to share on your blog or social media. Find 5 Instagram influencers who fit your dream client description and send them a direct message. Feature a short client case study of a happy customer or brand girl. Create a contest or challenge for your current clients to share their style. The winner gets a free piece of jewelry. And then if you have another idea, I encourage you to enter your own ideas here. So we have this all in your workbook in the blueprint. Feel free to circle which ones you like. You can make notes on what you'd like. And we really encourage you to get this micro content up and running because this is how you're going to start this cycle and get people hooked on your desire journey. And that's how we bring it all together. So let's talk a little bit more about why you are here. So you want to take a second to review some of the reasons why you probably joined this training in the first place. So let's talk a little bit about this. It might be that you're scraping by at an unfulfilling day job, building someone else's dream, or that you get a lot of compliments on your jewelry, but you don't know how to convert those compliments into sales. Or maybe it's because you're frustrated about all the time you spend marketing because you aren't getting enough sales or exposure to sustain your business. Or maybe it's that you are overwhelmed with everything that you have to do to actually grow a jewelry business, and sometimes you wonder if it's really even worth it. Or maybe you're just getting trickles of traffic to your website or Etsy shop, but it's hard to stand out because there are so many designers to choose from, and maybe it's that you're not just getting enough sales in general. Now, you can see how a well-developed and focused desired sharing proposition fills in all these needs. But you might be asking yourself, now that I know what to do, how do I do it? Is there a right way? And how can I do it quickly with all that trial and error? Because I know that that's like a frustrating thing. Like, you don't want to just like try to figure it out on your own. Like, sometimes you might want a little bit more guidance. So here's the deal. In reality, you pretty much have two options. You could totally figure this out on your own and spend hours and hours of time like I did trying to figure this out and trying to guess what your next steps are. Trust me, that's not the best way. But if that's for you, go for it. Some people like to figure things out. Or you can allow us to support you on your journey and take you through our proven step-by-step process to create desire and demand for your brand. So it doesn't matter where you learn it, guys. Trust me, whether it's from us or someone else. But either way, this is an essential aspect of growing your jewelry business that you must learn in order to succeed. But wouldn't it be completely amazing and awesome to just skip that learning curve? All right, I'm going to be starting the Q&A really shortly, but first I wanted to tell you about a little program that's near and dear to our hearts. And I get so emotional when I start talking about this because this is what I needed when I started my first business. And it's called Laying the Foundation. Laying the Foundation is our signature 8-week virtual program designed to teach you how to create desire and demand for your independent jewelry brand. You'll build your dream business that supports your lifestyle and that allows you to unleash your creativity to yield cash, clarity, and freedom. Sounds pretty good, right? Well, we're going to tell you a little bit more about the program, but first I wanted to share some success stories. And I know that a lot of our designers join us for these trainings, and one of our favorite success stories is a designer named Jules Vance of Jules Vance Jewelry. Her buyer was so impressed that they nearly tripled her PO. That's sort of like her standout thing. Flourish and Thrive gave her the tools to refine her collection to be more in line with her dream clients and the courage to approach a multi-store wholesale account at the very top of her dream client list. The buyer loved her line so much that when they launched it, they hosted 3 successful in-store events. The buyer was so impressed with their high sell-through rate that they approved a PO nearly triple the original proposal. Her inventory sold out in less than a month, and they immediately placed a reorder. She says, "Thank you, Robin and Tracy. What you do every day for our industry and for us designers and business owners is truly outstanding." That's Jules Vance of julesvancejewelry.com. And then Anna Maria Andrekin, who was one of our first Laying the Foundation students, she is now an LTF coach and one of our Diamond Insiders coaches, said, "Instead of spending weekends at market, I focus on my website and my sales rock this year." Purchasing a home, her story is incredible. I get the chills every time I talk about it. She purchased a home and she had a bout with breast cancer, guys, and it forced her to cancel the majority of her shows one year. And she is so happy to say that even though in light of her life changes and challenges, she ended up the year within $1,000 of gross sales of her previous years while taking back all of her weekends. Plus, instead of spending her weekends at markets, she focused on her website and it rocked this year. And instead of 3 web sales a month in the $60 to $100 range, she averaged 3 web sales a day in the $300 to $600 range, and even during the holidays, and it was pretty amazing. She would have never been able to figure this out all on her own and done it so quickly. Her story is incredible, and she is just an amazing inspiration and light to all of us. And then there is Alison Gemma Laframboise. I always have a hard time saying her name. Such a beautiful name. Before the course, I hated sales. Now I feel excited to approach wholesalers, and they're saying yes after one visit. Before the course, I often had on my dream vision board to find the perfect salesperson because I hated sales so much, and I felt that this was holding me back more than anything. Tracy and Robin gave me the tools, advice, and most importantly, the correct context for approaching sales in a way that feels really good and is extremely effective. Since this course, I've reached out to 3 local stores for wholesale opportunities, and 2 of them even said yes to my line after one visit. Now I feel excited rather than dreadful about approaching my line to potential wholesalers, and I realize that I am the perfect salesperson that I was trying to manifest on my vision board. So this is great, and I just want to remind you this course is not about wholesale, but these are just some of the results that people have received. So here's a little bit more about laying the foundation. We're going to be walking you through our 4 training modules that runs over the course of 8 weeks. Module 1 is all about building and growing brand desire. We're going to walk you through each aspect of developing a strong brand identity to create demand and desire for your brand. You'll clarify exactly who your dream clients are so you can stop wasting time and chasing the wrong customers and take one step closer to developing brand advocates for life. You'll also identify your desired sharing proposition, which will be the foundation for holistic, long-term growth towards your ultimate dream vision. Love it, guys. And I see a ton of questions rolling in. I'm going to be answering those just in a moment, so hang tight. Module 2 is about creating desirable collections that sell for your right price. Learn to create collections that perfectly fit into your dream clients' hopes, dreams, and expectations. You'll merchandise cohesive collections, implement the right pricing formulas, and create desirable branded assets. Discover the sweet spot between what you most enjoy creating and what your clients most want to buy. Module 3 is all about the sharing economy, building momentum and effortless sales. This week is all about talking about everyone's least favorite topic, sales, right? But we'll show you how to approach sales from a place of service to inspire the sharing economy. And at the end of this module, you'll feel comfortable and confident about sharing your jewelry in many ways that attracts brands advocates, increases sales, and moves your business forward towards your goals. Module 4 is all about promoting desire, efficient PR, and marketing. This week, we're busting the misconception that you need an expensive PR agency or marketing team to get exposure. Armed with your fully developed desired sharing proposition, you'll be able to get the press and exposure your brand deserves with barely any budget. Soon, your dream audience and brand advocates will be doing all the PR work for you. All right, so here's exactly what you'll get in each module. You're going to get the complete LTF system full of videos, audios, slides, transcripts, and worksheets. You are going to get 20 plus training cheat sheets and checklists, done for you sales and marketing scripts, video cliff notes, my favorite. This is going to be 100% online learning and mobile friendly, which is super awesome. And here's what you're going to create. You're going to transform your passion for design into a successful and desirable brand. You're going to turn your customers into raving fans as well as your best sales reps and media channels. This is one of my favorites. You are going to uncover your brand voice and the confidence to shout it from the mountaintops. You're going to effortlessly leverage your PR and marketing to put a spotlight on your jewelry. And you're going to drastically increase your profits by discovering how to set your business up the right way and create the life you've always dreamed of while doing what you love. Pretty awesome, right? So if you know anything about me, and if you don't, you're going to learn something really quickly about me. I love to give perks and bonuses. And so we have some pretty awesome bonuses included with laying the foundation. How to build a successful jewelry store without laying a brick with Andrea Ayers. How to attract an Instagram followers that actually buy with Melissa Camilleri. I Heart Batching. How to get a bunch of content written all at once with Melissa Casera. How to grow a profitable Facebook group with Lauren Zavlanov. How to grow your list and explode for jewelry designers, which is a training here at Flourish and Thrive, and Etsy shop optimization strategies with Melissa Kaiserman. All of these bonuses are valued at over $5,000 when you add them all up, which is pretty awesome, guys. And to reward you for attending this training, we want to give you a special bonus if you decide to sign up right now. So if you register before the masterclass is over and before this Q&A ends, you are going to receive $100 off. And all you have to do is to head on over to flourishthriveacademy.com/foundation. That's flourishthriveacademy.com/foundation. And you could see the link here on the screen, and enter the code LTF100 at checkout. And remember that the discount code is case sensitive, so you need LTF in all caps in order to get that. So if that's not enough, if you sign up right now, first people who sign up get these amazing bonuses. So I'm going to throw in my advanced pricing blueprint and the irresistible line sheet and catalog template, which is going to be an awesome way for you to feature your collections. You can design this in any way that you like and change your logo and everything. And you have these great little bonuses just thrown in for signing up while in the masterclass right now. And these are valued at $595. All right. Laying the foundation is an incredible value. So the value of the core program is valued at $9,000. Stick with me, guys, because it's a lot less. Trust me. The value of the bonus insights and wisdom, $5,000. Value of our industry insights beyond this and everything that we gather is really priceless. The total value we sort of racked up to over $14,000, and your investment is much, much less. So let's talk about that, shall we? But before I do, I want to talk about one of my favorite perks, which is lifetime access. We are always updating the course curriculum based on what's going on in marketing, and we're always revamping to improve it. Once you buy in to laying the foundation, you have this for life. So anytime we update the content, anytime we update the materials, anytime we add something new, you have access to it for life. So you can head on over to flourishthriveacademy.com/foundation. And you might be wondering what the investment is. So let's talk a little bit about that. Your investment is just $795 if you decide to go with our payment plan that's broken out into 5 payments of $195. Or if you can swing it and you want to pay in full, you save an additional $100. So that's $695. And we want to always break this down to tangibles. So think to yourself, what do you need to sell to actually make this investment in yourself and your business? It might even be just selling like 3 necklaces, guys, or 3 pieces of jewelry. When you think of it that way, the investment is really, really small for something that has an impact that goes beyond that. Plus, remember, you get an extra $100 off. Hold on a second. I'm going to share that with you in a moment. But the most important thing is that, we practice what we preach and we believe in what we teach. And we know that what we teach works. And that's why we are fully confident to give you this amazing guarantee. You have no obligation. Love it or leave it. Test it out for a couple weeks. You have 3 weeks to try this out. The way the course rolls out, I'm going to talk about that in a moment. Test it out, the first 2 modules. You have 3 weeks to test out the first 2 modules. And once you do, finish the content and hand over your homework. If it's not for you, no big deal. You can get a full refund. We know that this works, and you have to request for a refund within 3 weeks of purchasing the course content if you decide that it's not for you. We think you're going to stay, but because it's pretty awesome. So we really believe in what we teach. So this is really a risk-free opportunity. And all we ask is that you give it a try. So I wanted to share with you a few more success stories. Tracy and Robin have saved me years in creating a successful jewelry business, and continued lifetime support is invaluable. So Tracy and Robin, you exude an infectious, uplifting aura that is encouraging and motivated. When I am not enough, I can turn to Flourish and Thrive to help me push through whatever is causing me to stumble. Whether through your Facebook group or reviewing lessons that I've already completed, I can find clarity in areas and not just my strengths that have left the world and my head spinning. Could I accomplish creating a successful jewelry business on my own? Well, eventually I might, but it would take many, many years, and I think my sanity would be fleeting. I truly appreciate your invaluable continued lifetime support that Flourish and Thrive Academy offers. That's Jennifer Lawler of Riverglass Creations. We have an amazing community over at our Diamond Insiders, which is a extension to what we do here. It's our sort of live support. And Melissa Camilleri, who is now one of our coaches and mentors in the community, but she started with us back when we first started this, and she is an amazing success story. She runs an extremely successful jewelry and lifestyle brand now that is consistently making more than 5 figures a month, and actually think it's making more than that now. It might be even. It's probably like high 5 figures. Like the girl is like killing it. she started Flourish and Thrive Academy with a full-time job and a jewelry making hobby. And then fast forward 9 months after she started with us, she implemented everything that we talked about, and she's was making enough profit to quit her full-time job and to move her production from her dining room table to a professional design studio space. And now she has a bunch of people working for her, which is pretty cool. Before the Laying the Foundation course, she had exactly 32 paying customers. Since taking Laying the Foundation, I have over 8,000 paying customers. And this was, she mentioned this like a while ago, so these numbers have totally increased by now. I think her Instagram following is like almost 40,000 by now, and she runs a successful jewelry and lifestyle business that consistently makes more than 5 figures a month, and she gets to do what she loves. She pinches herself every single day. And Melissa's such a great teacher too. We have her come in and teach people what she's learned, and how she's taking her content and taking it to the next level. So I wanted to ask you, like, are you ready to never again worry about having enough exposure and sales to stay in business? Are you ready to feel extremely comfortable and confident promoting your jewelry brand and selling your jewelry from a place of service? Are you ready to connect your brand with the desires of your dream audience and transform one-time buyers into lifelong brand advocates? Well, if you are, then I really encourage you to join me in laying the foundation. Head on over to flourishthriveacademy.com/foundation and check it all out. So I wanted to reiterate like what you get here. The regular investment for the class is $795 if you join us for the payment plan. But with our special savings of $100, you can get your investment for $695. That breaks out into I think 5 payments of $139, which is pretty awesome. All you have to do is enter the discount code LTF100 at checkout. You can head on over to flourishthriveacademy.com/foundation to grab that. So I'd love to take some questions now, and I'd love for you to join Flourish and Thrive Academy. I know some of you are see some questions rolling in about how the payment plan works. They're confused about the $695 versus $795. So let me reiterate that. So the regular investment for the course is $795. If you pay in full, you can get in for $695. So you save $100 automatically by paying in full. That takes your investment by paying in full down by $100. But no matter what, if you sign up right now on this masterclass over at flourishthriveacademy.com/foundation, use the discount code LTF100, and you are going to get $100 off. So you can get the payment plan for $695. That breaks it down to 5 payments of $139, or you can pay in full and get the entire course for $595, which is a huge steal. In a couple of months, we're going to be raising the price of this course to $995. So it's a great idea to jump in now and get that discount of $100. All right, I am going to dive right in to the questions. I'm going to just send a quick message to my team really quickly. All right, so I want to open up the Q&A and tell you a little bit more about or answer all your questions that you have about laying the foundation. But I just want to remind you that after this Q&A is over, the fast action bonus is that advanced pricing blueprint and the line sheet templates and the $100 discount go away. So join now, and I'm ready to take some questions. All right, Jess is loading this up. Let me just send her a little message right here really quickly. Hold on one second. She is loading some questions up for me. All righty, here we go. Let's dive right in. All right, so, geez. Okay, well, it's not a question. The first thing, if there's other LTF grads on the call, I would love to know, but we got an LTF grad who showed up today for this masterclass. Our LTF grads often show up for our masterclasses all the time. Toby originally took Laying the Foundation back in 2016, and she wanted to add something for the designers that said that for any designer that might be thinking that their business is too new or they're not ready, that she was at the very beginning stages of her business, and she really wondered whether it was too soon for her to take Laying the Foundation. And she decided to take the plunge back in 2016 And she's so glad that she did, because she feels, even though she's been doing this for a while, she still feels like a newbie in some ways. She's learned so much, and that she has saved so much money in the long term by not making all the mistakes. I'm trying to read this. It's out of like the context a little bit, but she has saved so much money by not making a bunch of mistakes, by setting her business up the right way. And Toby has been like a super phenomenal member in our community. She's a member of our Diamond Insiders now too, and is just killing it. She has a really niche brand, which I love. She focuses on designing for girls who ride, which I love. And, when she says girls who ride, she's a big motorcycle rider and advocate. So it's super cool. So I wanted to ask you guys a quick question as we're sort of diving into these Q&A questions. I want you to think about this. In a perfect world, what would your jewelry business look like in a year? So I want you to think about that. And like, what's going to be holding you back if you don't get all, sort of that momentum and everything in place and moving forward now? And I wanted to, ask you this question. Are you going to actually really be able to get there on their own? Kathy says, the line sheet template is priceless. It's totally worth the investment of LTF alone. And Pam says she just signed up for laying the foundation. She can't wait. Welcome, Pam. We're really excited to have you. All right, we're getting a ton of similar questions coming in. So Jess has organized these in the doc. So I'm going to answer as many questions as I possibly can within about an hour. And some of them are going to be very similar questions. And if I don't get to yours, I apologize. You could just email us over at support@flourishthriveacademy.com, and we will be happy to answer any of the questions. If for some reason I don't get to yours, because we have like literally 50 already queued up, and I'm nervous I'm not going to get to all of them right now. Okay, per usual, we always get a lot of questions about dream clients. So how would you get over the feeling that your dream clients would rather buy their jewelry from someone else? This is from Caroline in London. And then Shanna also asked, there's a couple queued up here about dream client. My question is it wise to model our dream client off our own personality since our brands are an extension of ourselves, or is this too narrow-minded? That's a great question. Both of those great questions, and they're very similar. And I'm sure we're going to get more questions about dream clients. I'm just going to take a sip of water here real quick. Let's see. Okay, so let's talk about dream clients. First and foremost, if your dream client would rather buy jewelry from someone else, they're not really your dream client. That's you thinking someone is your dream client or not. Or it might also be a perceived value messaging sort of disconnect, or it might be that you're not communicating in a way that resonates with the people that you think your dream clients are. But if you're saying your dream clients are buying from someone else, they're probably not your dream clients in the first place. So I'd really want to dial into like what the root of the problem is there. Is it that there's a disconnect between the branding and the price point? Is there a disconnect between your messaging, how you're marketing yourself and your brand? Is there a disconnect between the visual branding? Like these are all things that are really connected and help you connect with your dream clients. Is it a disconnect in the way that you're communicating? And I want to mention this because a lot of times, like any client is not your dream client. And I have to tell you this, the more specific you get on who your dream client is, even though you think you might be eliminating a bunch of potential customers, the more you're going to attract more people like that. And I will tell you this for sure from my personal experience. This is such a profound experience of mine. And in hindsight, like I'm like, duh, I wish I would have figured this out back then. There are many times in my career back in the early days when I was totally dialed in on who my dream client was. And there were other times when I was not dialed in, when I was just trying to sell to everybody. And here's an interesting thing. I would think that, I had this sort of nailed down. I had a designing a collection that people were actually buying a lot of. But then, I was trying to start like at a certain point, more, I don't want to say more competition, but like the dollar was getting a little weaker. People weren't investing as much in like middle market jewelry. And so what ended up happening is these big like trend designers started coming on the scene with cheap chic fashion jewelry that was like big and statement and bold. And I'd always been a designer who was like more personal jewelry, collectible things that not personalized. I didn't do like hand stamped or anything like that, but they're pieces that people collect for many, many years. I was never like a super huge statement jewelry person, designer at least. But this huge trend came on the market for statement jewelry. So I dabbled my toes in that market. I started designing things that weren't in silver and semi-precious. I started making bigger, bolder statement pieces. And sure, yeah, some of them were cool and I sold some of them. But I started creating this disconnect with my previous client. And I was trying to like capture an audience that wasn't really like my true dream client, and my sales started tanking. I started panicking because I would go to these trade shows, and where I would normally be booking like, tens of thousands of dollars in sales, I would walk away with just enough sales to just cover my expenses, which actually it was like probably more than that, but like still, like I invest a lot in I would invest a lot in these trade shows, and you need to come away with a lot of money coming back. And I was getting, my ongoing buyers would come into the booth and they would started walking out, and I was like, what's going on? So you need to make sure that you're really being in alignment with the point of this is that stay in alignment with what it is that you are known for. Continue to evolve your brand on that. It doesn't mean that you can't evolve as a designer and move into different audiences, but keep your dream client in mind as you're designing and as you continue to move forward. Because if you think someone's your dream client and they're not buying your jewelry, there's a disconnect somewhere, and you got to like dial down into what that disconnect is. So if you're having trouble finding your dream clients, like Shanna asked, is it wise to model your dream clients off yourself? Well, I think that the question can sometimes be yes, and in a lot of cases, the answer is yes. A lot of times we are part of us, especially if we like to wear the jewelry that we design and our dream clients are similar to us, we are part of our dream client avatar. And the best way that I've dialed into a dream client avatar is to create that avatar as someone that is like sort of an amalgam of me and a combination of some of my best clients and friends who I know buy my jewelry. So my current dream client, her name is Kate, and she is actually like a combination of me, my good friend Alex, my best friend Kate, and two clients that I have that buy jewelry from me all the time. And so this is like, it's a great place to start. It might not always be where you end, but it's a place to kind of understand like the foundation. And as you start to get more information and more of your dream clients start buying from you, you can start to collect data and start marketing more towards them. But this is always going to be a process of discovery, guys. It's not something that just happens like, overnight. It's something that you're continually evolving year after year. Okay, so Isabel says, I'm just about to enroll in the course, but I wanted to know if it's suitable for someone who hasn't actually started yet, but who wants to launch a jewelry brand. All right, so this is a great question. And I'm sure that some of you who've been in business for a long time might be thinking the same thing. Is this a beginner class? Is this something that I should invest in if I've already been doing this for a while? So let me talk to people who haven't started or are just in the early phases of your business. And I think Toby sort of spoke to this earlier when she mentioned her comment. Is that when you're just starting out, the great thing about taking a course like Laying the Foundation is that it gives you like basically a step-by-step roadmap or a blueprint, as we like to say, on what you need to do to develop an unforgettable brand or a very successful brand that's really connecting with your audience. If you've been in business for a while, this course is good for you if you feel like you aren't connecting with your dream clients and you're having difficulty generating a consistent cycle of sales and revenue in your business and getting the right kind of exposure. So it's good for both of you, because what this does is it really sets a platform, and you'll get something different out of it if you're just starting than if you've been in business for a year, for years, or even for a year. Because if you've been around for a while and you're thinking about whether or not this is right for you, and you're having a disconnect in sales and marketing, what this is going to do is fill in the gaps to show you what you aren't seeing. Because it's really easy for us to see what is wrong in someone else's brand. It's very hard for us to look inside and see what is wrong for ourselves. And this sort of like highlights maybe what might be missing or areas that, you really need to focus on to grow and develop your brand. All right. So Isabel, I hope that answers your question, and I hope that you'll join us. Awesome. All right, we are getting a lot of designers signing up. I want to welcome Julie. I want to welcome Jenny. Thanks so much for signing up. It's great to have you here. I am really excited to welcome Tisha. I want to welcome Diana and Catherine, Miranda, Dahlia, Genevieve. I am so excited to have you all. Thank you so much for jumping on LTF. We are pumped to have you here. So remember that if you'd like to get these amazing bonuses while we're doing the Q&A here, you have about, let's see, about 40 minutes left. I want to get through as many questions as I possibly can, so I'm going to dive in. Head on over to flourishthriveacademy.com/foundation. Enter the discount code LTF100. All right, I get a lot of compliments on my jewelry, and I feel so frustrated when customers look. Then I tell them the price, and they just don't buy. This is from Jenny, by the way. Plus, I get a lot of customers who tell me that my jewelry is too expensive. Is my jewelry just too expensive? I feel like I'm working for nothing. This is a great question, Jenny. The question is, I don't know. But what I really recommend that you do is take a look at your pricing structure. We give it to you fully in that advanced pricing blueprint. And I break out like 5 different potential formulas depending on the type of jewelry brand that you have. But at a very basic level, you want to make sure that you're taking the cost of materials and the market labor for the type of jewelry that you make. I explain this fully in the advanced pricing blueprint. In the interest of time, I'm not going to go in depth right here. You want to take those numbers and times them by 2 at a very minimum to get to your wholesale price, and then take that wholesale price and times that by 2.5 to get to your retail price. For most of you, that is going to be a standard markup to retail. A lot of you are underpricing, and oftentimes the disconnect when people don't buy, if you are pricing the right way, a lot of times the disconnect when people don't buy if you aren't pricing the right way is that there is a disconnect between the perceived value and how you're communicating that value, which is something that we go in depth on in laying the foundation. It also means that you might not be reaching your dream clients, and it might also be how it's priced. So, and it might be a variety of other things too. You have to kind of dial in on all these granular things and start to test and see what starts to work. But a lot of times, like, you know, if you're getting price resistance, you're probably not really like getting your jewelry in front of the right people, or it's not priced right. There's some disconnect there. April says, I think this might be a statement, but I'm not sure. The material pricing was really informative and scary at the same time. Do many designers experience pushback from their clients when they start to price more accurately? Oh, this is a great question, April. I think it really depends. I think that the most important piece here is to really make sure that you're communicating the value of what you offer. So when I get people who come to me for my custom jewelry brand, which is very different than a lot of other types of brands I know, but when I get people coming to me and, like, let's say they want to dive in and they're selling jewelry for, or they want to buy a piece of like a diamond ring for $1,000. Well, unless they're bringing me the diamond and all of the gold and a complete design, which I don't even do anyway, like that's literally impossible. And people, they just don't know. And a lot of people are out there trying to get a deal or something cheap, but those aren't my dream clients. So what I often try to do is get more information from them on the front end. So if someone filled out an inquiry form and let's say the budget was lower than I could potentially work with, I would always ask, I would always send an email back and say, thank you for your inquiry. I see that you have a budget of $1,000. Custom work starts at X amount for something like this. Is your budget flexible? And if so, let's get on the phone and talk about the next steps. If not, let me know. I can probably refer you to someone else or a place where you can go to get a piece made on the cheap, because I don't design cheap jewelry, and I'm not going to compete on prices. People are coming to me for custom work. So when I get on the phone, or commissioned work based in my style, one of a kind stuff. So when I get on the phone with these people, I talk about the process and how much work I put in and how much investment of time and the quality of workmanship that goes into the piece. And that oftentimes brings them around so that they have an understanding of what it is that I bring to the table. And it also helps us both decide if it's a yes or a no. Does that make sense? Robin says, I was away from my computer for a few minutes and came back when you were talking about your customers, your dream clients. We we have one that is a perfect example. She always shares when she gets her jewelry. She makes special trips to come see us, and she's the most incredible friend. We treat all of our customers the way we treat her. How do we get more like them? Oh, this is a great question. So this is part of the sharing economy, and it's really important that you sort of create a process. So if you're treating everyone the same, great, but not everyone knows the next steps. So what you can do maybe is have a follow-up email or call sequence where you can say something along the lines of like, hey, I wanted to check in, see how you're enjoying your pieces. I'd love for you to share with me any feedback or how the process is going. Or share a picture on social media. Like there's a lot of ways that you can engage with your brands. And then when you start a conversation with them, the next step could be something along the lines of, hey, we really build our business by referral. We're having this great, loyalty incentive for our clients. We're offering, X amount of free jewelry for every 5 customers that you refer. If this is something you're interested, great. Like here's how you can share. There's a lot of ways that you can inspire sharing. And getting people involved in like the process of sharing for your brand without being sleazy. It's just really about coming from service, asking questions, and starting conversation. Does that make sense, guys? All right, cool. Leona's saying yes, yes, yes. All right, cool. So someone just asked, there's no name here. Can you run through the payment plan again? Sure thing. Just a reminder that the $100 off ends after this Q&A is over. We got about 30 minutes left of the Q&A. Head on over to flourishthriveacademy.com/foundation. You can use that discount code LTF100. Okay, so when you pay in full, you save $100 automatically. It's $695. But the course is priced at $795 because most people typically take us up on the payment plan. That's totally your choice. It's a little bit more to join in on the payment plan. We give you an incentive or a discount to pay in full of $695. If you sign up now, you'll get an extra $100 off. So you get an extra $100 off the payment plan, or you get an extra $100 off the pay in full option. And what that does is it takes your monthly payments, your 5 monthly payments, if you pay on the payment plan, down to $139 a month, which adds up to about $695. If you pay in full, it's a one-time payment of $595 if you buy while we're on the Q&A. And remember, that expires right away. We've had about 30 people join us during this Q&A, which is awesome. Keep that coming in. I'm so excited to welcome so many amazing new members, which is exciting. Tracy M says, I already took Laying the Foundation. And for those of you who haven't taken it, it's fantastic. Lots of fantastic information, and it really helped me reach my dream clients. So Tracy, thank you so much for sharing that experience with us. Elaine says, I see silver and gold jewelry, or maybe she's trying to say I sell. My jewelry is beaded, or I see a lot of silver and gold jewelry. My jewelry is beaded, also wood, leather, and fabric, etc. Is it possible to find an audience for natural chic? Absolutely. There's an audience for every kind of jewelry. I just think it's really about dialing in on who your dream clients are. And really, I would see more of a natural chic, like leather and fabric and stuff like that, being sort of like a boho clientele. We have a designer in our community. She was also in our mastermind for a long time, Heather NG of Heather NG. She's an amazing designer, and she incorporates semi-precious gemstones and leather and fabric and lots of really amazing things. And her brand is like a total boho vibe. And I think it really depends, but you can definitely incorporate natural elements into everything that you're doing. I mean, look at Melissa Joy Manning. She uses fossils in her jewelry, and she has one of the most reputable, well-known brands on the market today in the independent jewelry market. Taking a sip of water. Leona says, I am starting over with my jewelry business, and I basically have no stock. I've recently discovered that a new technique that's me. I know my styles are changing and evolving. What is my first step on my new journey? I would say developing your collection and getting something to sell would be the first step. And then also thinking when you're designing that collection, who you're actually designing it for, because this is an important part of the process. So they kind of go hand in hand as you're sort of evolving, thinking about who you're designing for as you're doing it in the process. And then, moving this along on your journey and developing your technique into something that's cohesive and makes sense, and that there's enough pieces, 12 to 24 in a collection, and that you have, the elements that, we talk about in laying the foundation in your collection, the upsell, the gateway, the statement piece, that really makes sense depending on how you're designing. So another great question, how much of this course, laying the foundation, relates to organizing the business side of your business, charts, inventory, etc.? I did my first trade show and it was overwhelming and exciting. I'm now trying to figure out the business side of organizing payments, delivering delivery dates, inventory, managing manufacturing. I'm feeling overwhelmed with the business side of the business. So laying the foundation is all about the foundational marketing aspects of the jewelry business. Multiply Your Profits is our other course that focuses on the business side of the business. It's a really amazing course. And we walk you through how to set up systems in your business, how to handle manufacturing, whether you're doing it alone or you want to eventually build a manufacturing team or outsource it to other manufacturers. We teach you how to hire and how to manage inventory and how to deal with all the financial aspects of the business. So if you're interested in learning more about that, head on over to support@flourishthriveacademy.com. Our support team is happy to help you with that. Laying the foundation is really about the foundational aspects of building a jewelry brand. It's more about branding, design, development, marketing, sales, like the stuff you need in place before you they go hand in hand, but I wouldn't jump straight to multiply your profits unless you're already having success scaling or growing and branding your business. Anne says, if one has X amount of dollars to spend, which do you think would be ultimately more beneficial? Taking classes to hone your technical skills for fabrication or creation, or the more business networking, building, branding end of the spectrum? Trying to be objective. Okay, so here's the thing. I talked about this at the beginning of the masterclass, and I talk about one of my biggest mistakes is that initially when I started my business, one of my main focuses was focusing on learning new techniques, making, brand development, which is great because you need that. But at the end of the day, if you're not focused on business development, selling your work, networking, getting your exposure out there, and building a brand, then you don't really have a business. You just have a hobby. And so, at a certain point, this is a little bit of an exaggeration, but there's this great book that I recommend all designers read. It's called The E-Myth Revisited by Michael E. Gerber. And it was a book I read for the first time in 2006, and it was recommended by my accountant at the time. And it's a book I've read about 10 times by now, and I listen to it on tape once a year because I really want to refresh my knowledge on it. And it's sort of the foundation of what we built our Multiply Your Profits course on, because I was sitting in a meeting with my accountant, and he said to me, you have an expensive hobby, not a business. And I was about to ship a $70,000 order to QVC. And he tells me this. And I'm like, dude, I'm shipping a $70,000 order to QVC tomorrow. I don't think I have an expensive hobby. But the point taken, I was not focusing enough on the business side or the marketing side or the sort of setting up that business foundation enough, the foundational parts of the business, we teach in Laying the Foundation. And my business wasn't at that point profitable enough because I was taking too much risk investing in things that I shouldn't have done without thinking it through. And, an expensive hobby can be at any stage. If your business is not profitable and making money and you're not making sales, you don't really have a business yet. You have an expensive hobby that it's fine. If you want to keep it a hobby, no big deal. If you're nervous about selling and you don't want to sell your work and you just want to make jewelry because that's what you want to do, great. Continue doing that forever, but don't torture yourself with this idea that you're trying to create a business. But if you're someone like me and someone like the thousands of designers that we've supported over in Flourish and Thrive Academy who really want to get their passion of designing and making jewelry out into the world, feel the satisfaction of having people actually wear their jewelry. And I can't even tell you how fulfilling it is when I see someone randomly walking down the street wearing a piece of my jewelry or something like that. That's to me, the biggest dream. I get so excited about it. If you're not someone like that, then don't worry about it. But if you are someone like that, then that's what this course is designed to help you do, is to take all of this passion and these beautiful ideas that you have and help turn them into a business and make this successful. Vicky's saying, I just signed up for LTF a while back. And in just a short time, I've been able to evolve my business and it's changed for the best. Awesome. Oh, great question. Miguela says, when when and how do the LTF workshops take place? So Miguela, the workshops take place at your own pace. This is a totally self-paced course. When you log into the member site, you will get, we group this out over 8 weeks because we know that um, when an individual is delivered a bunch of stuff at a time, that they get overwhelmed. So we walk you through this logical process of how we lay out the course. So you'll get module 1 right away, and then we give you a week to work on everything, including the bonuses that are included in that module, so that you can get it complete. And then we release module 2 in the week 3, and then same thing, implementation week 4, module 4, implementation week, module 5, or module 4 goes out in the week 5, and so on and so forth. So we drip this out over an 8-week period so that you can work on it on your own pace. The classes are not live. They are recorded, so you can access them at any time that you want. It's super easy. You can watch them in the middle of the night, or you can, watch them when you're at the gym. I love doing my learning when I'm like at the gym, or, in the process of like getting ready in the morning. That's like when I absorb the most learning information. And then I like to do the worksheets, at night, like when I'm taking a course. I'm a huge believer in practicing what I preach. I buy trainings and courses. I'm always learning. I'm part of masterminds. I'm in coaching programs. I have a coach. So like all these things, like I really practice what I preach. And so we try to deliver you the best information in the best way that we see fit for the best learning experience. And we're always improving that. So anytime we revamp, we're always thinking about how can we make this better to help deliver the information to the students so that they can get results in the best way right away and get wins in their business immediately. So it's completely self-study. You can do it whenever you want. You can take a year to complete it. You can do it right within the 8 weeks, whatever works for you. We just ask that you stick with it and actually do it and join. Okay, awesome. Let's see. Oh my gosh, Jules was one of the people that we had featured in our case studies, and Jules is on the phone. I just want to give some feedback and public love. I took Laying the Foundation, and she's also taken Multiplier Profits, and the course revolutionized my business, my line, my pricing, my e-commerce, and my confidence. I also feel compelled to write in just to remind people who are on the fence, who are listening to this call. Many of the gems and tidbits that Tracy and Robin are sharing are just on this call today. People would pay such valuable information for. Tracy and Robin are the real deal. Not only have they walked the jewelry industry walk, they have incredible experience and skills to share their knowledge. You can tell by the personal and professional anecdotes shared on this call that they're so incredibly open, giving, and accessible, which is incredibly rare in the industry that typically closely guards their trade secrets. And if you can take the dive into LTF, I promise it will affect your business in ways that you can't imagine. Hugs and kisses and gratitude to you both. XO, Jules. Jules, thank you so much for being here today, and thank you for sharing that, because it is just so heartfelt. I love your success. She's killing it. Jules is killing it right now, you guys. She's like doing so well. So I wanted to remind you that you can head on over to flourishthriveacademy.com/foundation, enter the discount code LTF100 to get your $100 off. When you say, how long do I have access to the course and materials? You say lifetime access to the course. What does that mean? That means that until we decide to, which is not going to happen, until we decide to like close Flourish and Thrive Academy down, which is probably never going to happen, you'll have lifetime access to the course. So you have, and I'm joking, you guys, like nothing's happening to Flourish and Thrive Academy, but you will always have access to the course as long as your account stays in good standing and you're not doing anything shady and weird. You will have access to the course materials and content for lifetime. You can download what it is that you want, keep it. We regularly make updates and upgrades, so you have a chance to grab it then. Or grab it at any time, excuse me. And then when we make the updates, sorry, my brain gets a little bit fuzzy as I'm doing these Q&As for a long time. As we continue to make updates over the years and over time, you will get access to those updates for no additional charge. And I say this because, like for instance, Jules joined our program a long time ago. We've had students like Melissa Camilleri, Anna Sitch, who joined our program like the first time we ran it in 2014. And she's been able to like access, new course material as it's continuing to come. So, lifetime access, you get all the updates, which is pretty awesome. Laying the foundation sounds just like what I need right now. Do I have to show up at a certain time? Oh, I think I answered this. I work a full-time job. I'm trying to get my jewelry business off the ground to transition out of my full-time job. Are the classes recorded or something? Yes, all the classes are recorded. It's totally self-paced, home study. Do it when you want. Sonia says, I'm based in Canada. Will all your tips apply to me? I'm worried that I can't work with US buyers, or can I? Any experience with Canadian jewelers? Great question. So what we teach here in Laying the Foundation, first of all, you can work with buyers around the world. I do. This is not a wholesale program. Even though a lot of our designers sell to stores, this is not about wholesale. We have another course that's all about wholesale and helping you, that's specifically catered towards the detailed process of selling wholesale to stores. This is a branding and marketing course and a collection development course and a sales course that's designed to really help you get to lay that strong foundation for your jewelry business. We have had probably about 150 to 200 Canadian designers go through this course. Brooke Mosher, Kelty McGuire, those are a few that jump off the top of my head, but there's so many, or Jeanette Walker, she also joined our mastermind, so did Brooke. So like all these designers who are Canadian and international, we have designers, we have a designer, Mary, who's in Bali, who took our Laying the Foundation course, who's now in our mastermind. So there are, a lot of next steps for designers who, are working all around the world. This is just the start, and it's a place for you to start building a strong foundation. And our hope is that, as you continue to grow in business, that you join some of our other, offerings down the road if it feels right for you. A lot of designers have decided to join us at our higher level programs, or for some of our other programs, to really get in depth and help grow their business. But this is also great in and of itself, just to stand alone. And we've helped designers internationally. Kim Aikens from South Africa has had really great results from it. Catherine Preston, she lives in Hong Kong. She has had amazing results, and she's like one of our case studies over on the Laying the Foundation page over at flourishthriveacademy.com/foundation. So we have a bunch of video case studies over there, guys, if you want to see, listen to a little bit more about designers, how they've used the program, how they've had success. We've also had some people who have joined in different ways, so it's really awesome to check it out. And remember, if you sign up within the next 20 minutes or so, you get access to the Laying the Foundation for $100 off using the discount code in all caps, LTF100. All righty. Let me dive into the next question. I'm going to take a sip of water. Hold on a second. Let's see. Is this course targeted more towards a jewelry designer who has work made for them, or can a handmade artisan make a really good go at this? I have a niche handmade market I'm serving currently and would like to branch out. So yes, this is completely for those of you who want to have other people help you make your work. It's also for those of you who are makers and design everything and make everything yourselves. This is really about how to develop an unforgettable brand. It doesn't matter what your approach to design is. It's more about the foundational aspects of how you're setting up your jewelry brand. So definitely we have so many handmade artisans in our group, but we also have people who are thinking about hiring people and outsourcing, the production piece like I do. It doesn't really matter. This is really the foundational aspects. All right. Linda says, most of the designers you featured are interested in wholesale. That's not really true, but some of them do wholesale. I'm part of a small co-op gallery and do some local shops. My designs are one of a kind or limited edition of no more than 5. Are there wholesale buyers who are interested in this type of product? So This is not a wholesale training, guys. This is a branding training, but it does help for wholesale or e-commerce or online or in person. However you're selling your business, like this course can help you, or however you're selling your jewelry, this course can help you. If you're part of so yes, you can sell to stores for sure if you have limited edition runs. And what I would like to say even more so these days, that designers are, store owners, are more and more interested in one-of-a-kind designs. The business of retail has gotten much harder. And so stores are really more interested in having exclusives to them, things that can't be found other places. So this is a really great opportunity for you to sell to stores if that's something you want to do, even if you're doing one-of-a-kind or limited edition pieces. So you absolutely can. Leslie's saying, I feel like I'm getting plenty of opportunities for sales, except on my website. I want to get more? That's where I want to get sales the most. How do I get more traffic to my website? Well, great question. This is what we totally cover in the whole marketing section of Laying the Foundation. It's our complete module 4. It's about getting traffic and exposure, but it's really multiple fold. So the best way to get traffic to your website is to actually build an email list and start emailing those people. It can be composed of previous customers, new people who are interested in your brand. You can get organic traffic through SEO, social media, PR and press exposure, connections with influencers and bloggers, on camera exposure. You could do paid advertising. That's a little bit more advanced, an advanced strategy, but like paid advertising like Facebook ads or Pinterest ads, or super advanced would be like PPC, but that's like really once you start to establish yourself as a brand. I wouldn't do that out of the gate. There's a lot of ways to get traffic. That's just the start. It's really about building consistency, understanding how to connect with your clients, understanding how to get engagement on those exposure opportunities, and then using that engagement to get people back onto your site. So it's a lot of different ways. So we talked about that. Any thoughts on how to keep customers once they make a purchase? I'm on Etsy, and it's a no-no to contact buyers after they make a purchase, unless it was in regards to a specific item purchased. No referring to them to other products, etc., unless they sign up for a mailing list. The only way to get them on a mailing list is the order confirmation and shipping email or flyer in their package. But if you're like me, I see that your item is shipped, but I don't actually read the email for signups, etc. So, I would do whatever you can to try and get those people on your email list, and I would build a branded website and start marketing to them on your branded website, and try to get people as much as you can to buy on your website. One of our Diamond Insiders coaches, and also an LTF coach, and also former LTF student, Nicole Garapi, just did a great post about this in our Diamond Insiders about how she uses Etsy to grow her jewelry business and why she focuses primarily on her branded website. And it's really interesting because she uses Etsy as another way for people to find her, so as a traffic source, basically. Because Etsy does have some great tools for SEO or people to find jewelry based on specific topics or keywords or whatever. And that's a way for her to make more sales. But once that sale is over, she does everything that she can to get people to start becoming customers on her website. So I would send an email with the email sign up. I would send a flyer in the package. I would give them a discount to buy something on your website directly instead of on Etsy. Put that in the package after it ships. If there's a way to locate where those people are coming from, start to connect with them on social media or wherever you can. Follow up with your order on Etsy individually and just say, hey, how'd you like the order? I would love to connect with you about this. And if you'd like to, if there's a way, I'm not 100% sure if you're allowed to do this, but if there's a way to get start a conversation with them off of Etsy, I would definitely do that, even if it's a one-by-one process, because this is how you build fans for life. All right, guys, I'm going to take about 15 more minutes of questions. Head on over to flourishthriveacademy.com/foundation, enter the discount code LTF100 so that you can grab your discount before, and our awesome bonuses. We have our awesome line sheet and catalog templates for you. And we also have the advanced pricing blueprint for you so that you can grab those amazing bonuses just by signing up. While we're on this Q&A, oh my gosh, so many of you signing up right now. I am super pumped and super excited. Elizabeth Dwelly says, Elizabeth is one of our longtime students. She's so awesome. She said, "Hi, Tracy and Robin. A word about lifetime access. It's a huge benefit. I go through the training all the time. FNTA is my lifeline. I'm rebranding and relaunching my business. Trust me. Don't wait. You'll be so happy to sign up because of this lifetime access. As the life of your business grows and changes, it's going to be like a game changer as they continue to update the content. Is basically what she's trying to say." And she's like, "I look forward to connecting with the new designers." Awesome, awesome, awesome. Elizabeth, we love you. Oh, Tisha, yay! Tisha is one of our longtime Diamond Insiders members, and Tisha says, "Well, maybe you guys will see this later, but I'm terrified and excited at the same time to do Laying the Foundation. I wasn't going to sign up, but I just did because I have so much already. I feel a little bit overwhelmed, but I changed my mind though because I have a good partner near me who's taken a good partner or friend who's taken the course and encouraged me to jump in because it's going to be a game changer for me. Thank you everything that you do, ladies, and I'll see you in the Diamond Insiders." To clarify, Tisha has been a member of our Diamond Insiders for a long time now. The Diamond Insiders is our membership community where we are in there every day giving you daily feedback and support about your jewelry business and brand. And, just so you're not confused about what that is. But Tisha, I'm so excited to have you. Whoops, my phone is ringing. Whoopsies. Sorry about that. All right. Fati says, "I just signed up. I can't wait, or I can't see if I'm on the list." Yes, you are, Fati. Thank you so much for joining. We are so excited to have you. Cannot wait. All right, I'm checking in for a few more questions. Hold on a second. Ooh, we still have is this course only? I'm going to reiterate this question again. For those who want to sell to stores, I have no interest in that. And I just want to build my jewelry business online only. Absolutely. This is not for a wholesale course, although some people who do work with us end up selling their jewelry to stores. Robin is a wholesale expert. She really loves supporting people in the wholesale side of things. But this course is really a course to help you build an unforgettable brand, regardless of how you're selling it. We do focus a lot on online and digital marketing in Module 4. So this is great if you want to start building your jewelry business online. Let's see. Peter says, "Hi, Tracy and Robin. First of all, thanks for organizing this awesome class. My question is, is it better to partner with a PR and fashion firm or do it myself? If the latter, what are some tips on pitching the media?" This is a great question. We cover a lot of this in Module 4 as well of Laying the Foundation. Peter, I would say when you're first starting out, it's probably best to do DIY or PR. And here's the reason why. Working with a PR firm can be a huge investment, sometimes $5,000 a month, if not more. I know that when I was working with a PR firm, there were a lot of different ways that I worked with them, and it was very, very expensive. And while I did get results, it took time. And when you're just starting out, your business resources, it's really important to be able to invest your business resources back into your business so that you can continue to grow and also to pay yourself, which I think is important. So what I really suggest designers to do who are just starting out is to just block out a little time a week and spend time pitching. And what you'd want to do is to decide who you want to pitch and how you want to sell your jewelry and start reaching out just like maybe once a week and following up, and make that same time a week like your PR day, following up with people that you pitch, whether it be magazines, bloggers, or influencers. And what you would do is just like think of an angle to pitch every single month. You can, in order to find the editors, you can search media calendars to see what they're actually working on. And keep in mind that editors who work on, bigger publications like magazines and stuff are oftentimes working 4 to 6 months out. But there's a lot of also short lead PR, bloggers, influencers, TV segments, local publications that work on a much shorter time frame, anywhere from like a few weeks to, 3 weeks out or 3 months out. So there's a lot of opportunity for pitching PR and a lot of easy ways to do it. And we really walk you through the step-by-step on how to do that in Laying the Foundation. Alrighty, skimming through here. Alrighty, let me grab a few more questions. I might be repeating this. Kathy says, the line sheet templates are, I think I may have already read this, but oh well. I'll read it again. The line sheet templates are priceless, worth the price of the LTF alone. All right, we have so many of you signing up. I'm very, very excited. All right, let me dive into just a few more questions here. I got time for a few more. Okay, Christy says, I have a thriving jewelry business with my own studio for 13 years, but the problem has that I had a saturated market. I closed the studio and changed to a new Shopify website online, and everything went quiet. The main change was that I lost my jewelry team. I'd worked with them for 10 years, and it's too complex to go into now, but I can say I've never have recovered, and I have so much debt that I can't move forward. Any thoughts on where to start anew? Okay, so Christy, I totally feel your pain. I was there, and I get it. And I think it's just starting step by step. And for those of you who've been in business for a while and are feeling like you want to start over, I've done it. I don't think everyone's going to have to go to the drastic measures that I did, like file for bankruptcy and stuff like that. But I know some of you might be struggling or feeling, discouraged or whatever about what to do if you're kind of like fearful and you have a lot of debt. Well, first things first, I would figure out some sort of plan and figure out how much money you need to be making every single month to actually pay down your debt, and create a plan for that first. The next step that I would do is to focus on, what are some little things that you can do every day to start bringing sales and revenue into your business. So a lot of times that doesn't come with trying to focus on these like really elaborate digital marketing strategies. What it is really about getting in front of people who are in your local area, friends and family, friends of friends of friends of family, and doing in-person trunk shows, trying to get your product in front of people and selling it in any way that you can do. I remember, I was like a sales whore, and I mean that in the best way possible, but I would do anything to like sell product and get rid of extra inventory. I'm gonna take a sip right here because my throat's getting a little sore. And I remember one time when I would I had literally given a bag of jewelry to my friend. She really wanted this fine jewelry necklace of mine, but she couldn't afford it. It was like a $2,000 piece or something. I told her, I said, sell $5,000 worth of jewelry, take this bag, and I'll give you that piece of jewelry for free, that $2,000 necklace for free. Because to me, that was like, I was getting rid of a bunch of extra inventory. I was going to make a small profit off of it. And I gave her something that she really wanted. And at the end of the day, this was a really awesome opportunity for me to get my jewelry in front of people that wouldn't have otherwise seen it. It was also old inventory, and also reward someone who was helping me build my brand in an unusual way. And she rocked it out. She earned that piece of jewelry. It was awesome. It was like her good luck talisman for many, many years. And, I would do trunk shows in, offices that my friends worked in. I would connect with other professionals in the area and try to like figure out a way to get in front of their friends and family. So it's just like really thinking outside of the box. And then I'd really commit to a plan to start paying off your debt. And, I would love for you to join us. I know that might seem like not the right timing for you, but just think like, what could you do if this would give you insights on how to, get that debt paid down and sort of get handle back on your business. Would it be worth the investment? That's for you to decide. I personally think so. When I was at a really low point, I just filed for bankruptcy. I invested in the most in a course that I've ever invested in my life. So $1,500 on a course to learn how to build a business online and start attracting customers online with Marie Forleo. And that one course changed my life because I had sold wholesale for so long, I didn't understand how to really connect with my customers online. And it was a game changer for me. And, I dialed in like some of the stuff that I learned from that, but like also more about what I know from e-commerce and really growing a jewelry brand to dial in and make, really make building a jewelry business online or off, or however you want to do it, like the best possible, and dial down like all the specific techniques. I know that sometimes it seems really scary. And I remember when I made that investment, my boyfriend at the time thought I was like a nut job. But I proved him wrong. 18 months later, I was, booking this incredible month, 30 grand in profits. I'd paid off all my existing debt. I'd sort of cleaned the slate. I'd developed this new brand. I launched 2 websites by that point, and I was like on to redeveloping the third. It was a pretty amazing period, and I didn't have it perfect or right. I didn't have the most amazing website at that time. But what did happen was that I was able to really create a brand and a business that I loved, and everything else started to fall into place once that happened because I was in alignment with what I was meant to be doing. And you can be too. So I just wanted to mention I'm going to be wrapping up the Q&A momentarily. I'm going to try and dive into a few more questions. I just need to jump in on my team. Hold on one second. Alrighty. Just a second. All right, cool. Do you think I could be successful doing a lower line on Etsy and a higher price point and a different item on my website? Would it confuse people, or should I use this as two different shops? Okay, let me reread this question. Do you think I would be successful doing a lower line on Etsy and a higher price line on different items on my website? Would it confuse people, or should I do it as two different shops? So I've seen a lot of people do this successfully for different reasons. I would always recommend having a branded website as like the main place that you're trying to build traffic to. Etsy, I always say, consider this as a second source of revenue. And here's the reason why. You can have a very successful business. A lot of designers sometimes even have more sales on Etsy than they do on their branded website. But the problem is that you have no control over that platform. They can close your shop at any minute, and change things, and then your traffic dies, which I've seen happen to designers over and over again, and then they starting over. But you have control over your own branded website, and you can control what happens there. So what I've seen designers do is sometimes they have both Etsy and a branded website. Sometimes they have they create a different brand on Etsy, and they sell like lower end price point, or they use it as a place to get rid of like old inventory or things that's discounted because they don't want to put that on their site. There's a lot of different ways to do it. In the very beginning, I would just focus on one thing until you have that right, and then start adding in other layers. Don't do it at the same time. It just becomes too much. So Michelle said, I've not started an online jewelry business yet. Should I take up the course now? I mentioned this earlier, but I think it's a really great opportunity for you to kind of learn what you don't know and lay the foundations of everything that you need to have in place so that when you do launch your online shop or your online jewelry business or your jewelry business, that you have the tools and the foundation ready to go and you're not confused about it. Erica says, would you think it wise to leave my Etsy shop behind to concentrate more on marketing a website? I've been on Etsy with 17 months with a total of 30 sales, and I spent so much time trying to rank on Etsy that I never have time to share on social media. Would it be better for me to concentrate on my website and leaving Etsy? I think I answered this question already, Erica. I would always concentrate on your own branded website first, then dial in, the Etsy stuff. I think it's a good second source. I think if you're spending a lot of time for just 30 sales, that's not enough unless your jewelry is really high price point. There's a lot of things that you could do to really build and start getting like 5 figures a month on your branded website by driving traffic on social media and all that stuff. So I would say, I'm a huge advocate of focusing on your website first. Jennifer says, great job, ladies. Tracy, did you pay for those placements in magazines? Absolutely not. I was covered by the editors. It took a long time. I was probably in about 15 different magazines. I don't know, Elle, Real Simple, Lucky, InStyle, Marie Claire. I think I was in Glamour a few times. Lots of magazines. Anyway, One Magazine, some local magazines. But I didn't pay for any of those placements. Those were all, I paid for maybe sometimes people on my team to land the placements. I was covered in InStyle, I think about 5 or 6 times. And I developed a relationship with the editors, definitely. But over time, this wasn't a pay to play. Like magazine placements typically aren't pay to play if you're working with the editors. Sometimes you'll be asked or reached out to participate in advertorial. That's something different. That's like a pay to play thing. Don't recommend it. How many times a day should you post on social media? When I did it 3 times a week, it looks like people weren't interested. Now I do 1 or 2, and it seems to work better. What are your ideas on that? I think in general, like at least 1 time a day on any given platform is a good rule of thumb to go by. And then you can test and see what people are responding to. More than that starts to be a little spammy. Less than that starts to being not enough. So, all right. Lisa says, I just joined LTF. I'm so excited. I'm in the infant stages of starting my business. Awesome. So excited to have you. Congratulations. All righty. Hold on one second. Sarah says, can your course apply to other businesses just than jewelry, the business? We focus on the jewelry industry, but absolutely. What we teach in Laying the Foundation would definitely apply to other industries as well. The difference is a lot of the collection development stuff that we talk about and a lot of the pricing stuff that we talk about is specific to the jewelry industry, but it is translatable over multiple industries. Lori says, thank you guys so much for doing this. You are amazing. We love doing this for you guys, which is awesome. All righty. I think I've answered, we're right at the hour mark. So I want to honor your time. And there's so many other questions. So if you still have questions that you didn't get answered that weren't answered on this Q&A, I wanted to invite you to email us over at support@Flourish Thrive Academy. And as soon as I hang up, this discount's going away. So head on over to flourishthriveacademy.com/foundation. You can enter the discount code LTF100. Make sure the LTF is all in caps. This is case sensitive. And you can jump in on that amazing $100 discount off of Laying the Foundation. You can grab those bonuses, the line sheet templates, and the our advanced pricing blueprint, which is really amazing, guys. Like, you're going to love it. And, hopefully you're going to join us and it's going to be an amazing journey for you as well. So I'm going to answer one more question because I think this is a good one. Well, while starting a jewelry business, does Laying the Foundation teach us how to automate our business virtually? That way we'll have more time to work on designing our jewelry. Yes, we do teach you a lot about automating your business and making things work on autopilot. But I think over time, as you begin to grow your business, you'll see that you'll spend probably about 30% of your time designing and making jewelry and 70% of your time marketing and building your business. That's a suggested sort of formula that we kind of stick to, and that a lot of designers who have taken our courses and really had success with their businesses have stuck to as well. And I say that because we know this to be true. The more time you spend marketing and growing your brand, the more sales you're going to have. So if you're doing it the right way. Anyway, all right, cool. Anyway, thank you so much for spending this time on the masterclass with me and Robin. It's been great supporting you here. Remember that, what we taught you today in this unforgettable jewelry brand masterclass is just like the tip of the iceberg. As I mentioned earlier, like, we really, really hope that you'll join us. Allowing me to come into your computer or into your life and teach you this information is really just like an honor and a pleasure for me. So I want to thank you first and foremost for sticking it through to the end. And for those of you who are joining us for Laying the Foundation, I am so happy to welcome you with open arms. I'm beyond thrilled that you are taking the step to really elevate your jewelry brand and to grow your business. And for those of you who decide it's not right for you, I'm bummed, but what can I say? Like, this is your decision. But I'd really like you to think about, like, what would your business look like this year if you don't take these steps to, get your brand to a place where, you're kind of inspiring the sharing economy. You're getting your DSP, your desired sharing proposition, really dialed in, and that you're starting to create this cycle of, sales on autopilot. Like, what would your business look like if you did take the leap and join us in a year? And what will it look like if you don't? Are you willing to take that risk of not being in that place? So that's a question for you to answer. I'm looking forward to supporting those of you who would like to join us. Head on over to flourishthriveacademy.com/foundation. We're shutting down the discount code shortly. Discount code LTF100. Once again, if your question did not get answered and you still aren't sure if this is right for you, or if you have another jewelry business question, feel free to head on over to support@flourishthriveacademy.com, and we will answer that question for you. All right, guys, thank you so much. Just mention that you're on the unforgettable brand masterclass, please, when you email support if you do decide to do that. Anyway, I am thrilled. I'm excited to be here. I can't wait to support you as your jewelry business grows and to watch you flourish and thrive. All right, guys, this is Tracy Matthews signing off.